Yo, 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 hip hop heist, man. We here. We back. Mm. Mm.
Lil Durk was really out here moving like a mafia boss, forcing the feds to use tactics that have been used to bring down mafia families. Authorities have Durk on tape admitting to murders. And it's not only the murder of Quando Rondo's cousin. From having his brother's killers murked to ordering the death of an informant's baby mama, Durk was out here flying his killers in private planes.
Vaughn is dead, right?
Okay, well,
How the f is these paying for a jet?
This is going to be one wild ride. OTF snitch sells out Lil Durk. If there's one thing that Lil Durk has made clear in his past interviews, it's that he hates snitches.
I hate all raps. If you ever told, you ever tell, I hate you. Like with a passion. I really hate raps with real passions. Like I hate you bad. I'm looking to the camera. I hate rap.
What's crazy is that Durk might be in cuffs because one of his mans told on him. According to court documents, a dude named OTF Jam, who was a trusted member of the crew, played a crucial role in the investigation that brought down Lil Durk. It turns out that this dude had been released from prison in 2022 after serving 12 years for attempted murder. Apparently, he was an informant who had been cooperating with authorities for years. The craziest part about all this is that he wore a wire while around Lil Durk and other OTF gang members, which provided intel to the feds, a betrayal that no one saw coming, not even Durkio. According to the indictment, Jam's recordings and the information he provided were key in linking Durk to the now infamous murder-for-hire plot that almost took out Quando Rondo. If you understand OTF Jam's relationship with Durk, then his involvement in ratting out the OTF boss will shock you, and his secret recordings, which have formed the backbone of the case against Durk, will start to look like the worst case of backstabbing in hip-hop history. Jam, a longtime member of OTF, was considered a brother by Lil Durk. During Jam's 12-year incarceration for attempted murder, Durk stood by him, providing financial support and ensuring that Jam's needs were met. This included covering legal fees, purchasing a house and car, and gifting him more than $50,000 in cash.
Say he gave you 50, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fact. But say, can you tell us how much he gave you, or you don't want to even?
No, I ain't gotta give it to all that, but bro made sure he made a way for me to be straight like.
But if this wasn't enough, Durk also took care of OTF Jam, even while he was in jail. So what would make someone turn on their homie without any remorse?
Like,
Durk come through with some
that's sure. I don't give a nobody say like. I know I'm a real witness. Like
a lot of niggas can't say anything.
Like in my life, my whole time in jail, I was straight.
It turns out Durk may have been involved in the death of his baby mama. According to reports, Lil Durk found out that Jam had been wearing a wire all along. Determined to get his revenge, Durk knew that getting an FBI informant murked could bring him unwanted attention from the feds, so he went after his child's mother, Octavia Redmond. And on a seemingly ordinary day in the West Pullman neighborhood of Chicago, the life of a beloved postal worker, Octavia Redmond, was tragically cut short on the 19th of July, 2024. At approximately noon, Octavia was in front of a Chicago home, preparing to deliver mail, when a stolen SUV pulled up nearby. The vehicle, later identified as the getaway car, was driven by a 15-year-old suspect. The suspect exited the SUV and approached Octavia with a chilling intent. Without warning, he shot her multiple times at close range, leaving her critically injured on the ground. The suspect, meanwhile, fled the scene in the stolen SUV. The 48-year-old woman was taken to Christ Hospital in critical condition, where she was later pronounced dead at the hospital. In the immediate aftermath of the shooting, the Chicago Police Department launched an intensive investigation to track down the suspect. The U.S. Postal Inspection Service also became involved, offering a substantial reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible. They took to their X account, where they announced a $250,000 prize for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the suspect responsible for the homicide. As the investigation unfolded, authorities utilized footage from police and private cameras to trace the suspect's movements before and after the shooting. The stolen SUV was identified, and an anonymous tip provided crucial information that helped identify the suspect. Months passed as investigators worked tirelessly to bring the perpetrator to justice. The breakthrough came when the suspect was located in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and arrested on a murder warrant. Despite Durk's loyalty to his homie, Jam decided to become what the Chicago rapper hates the most, a rat. But having his baby's mother killed didn't solve anything. The damage was already done. So what exactly did OTF Jam reveal to the cops that might see Durk get the death penalty? Well, OTF Jam's revelations to the cops started with the tragic events of November 6, 2020. That night, King Von, Durkio's best friend, was killed outside an Atlanta nightclub. The altercation began as a physical fight between Von and Quando Rondo, escalating into gunfire when a member of Rondo's entourage allegedly shot Von multiple times, resulting in his death. CCTV footage showed Von approaching fellow rapper Quando Rondo and punching him to the ground. Von's guys joined in and started beating the brakes off Quando as he tried in vain to get away from his attackers. As the assault went on, one of Quando's homeboys, who was later identified as Lil Tim, appeared from behind their vehicle with a gun in hand and started letting off shots as everyone ran away. Von was hit on his torso. He would later die from his gunshot wounds while in hospital during surgery. For Lil Durk, the death of his friend was not only a personal tragedy, but also a catalyst for further animosity towards Quando Rondo. Rumors began to circulate that Durk had placed a bounty on Rondo's head, fueling speculation and fear within the industry. Court documents show that OTF Jam told cops that after Von's death, Durk used coded language to tell OTF members that he would pay a bounty to anyone who would take part in killing Quando Rondo. Durk's cousin, DeAndre Wilson, also told OTF members that anyone who took part in the murder would be rewarded with lucrative music opportunities with OTF, which was also a music label. In August 2022, Lil Durk associates allegedly learned that Quando Rondo was staying at a hotel in Los Angeles and plans to murk Quando were set in motion. Lil Durk's associates, DeAndre Wilson, Keith Jones, David Lindsay, and Asa Houston, traveled from Chicago to San Diego and then driven to Los Angeles, allegedly using funds provided by Durk himself. The group was determined to carry out their mission with precision and stealth, avoiding any direct links to Durk by following his alleged instructions to avoid booking flights under names associated with him. The feds revealed that they obtained information from Durk's iCloud, where he warned them not to book anything in his name. However, despite the warning, they still went ahead and booked the flights using a credit card linked to Lil Durk and OTF. Upon their arrival, the OTF members met with Kion Grant, a top associate who had flown to Los Angeles on a private jet. Grant played a crucial role in facilitating the operation, securing hotel accommodations for the group, purchasing ski masks, and obtaining 2 luxury sedans to be used in the ambush. According to court records, Grant also provided Jones, Lindsay, and an unidentified third member with firearms, including one that had been converted into a machine gun, further escalating the potential for violence. As the day unfolded, the group allegedly began tracking Quando Rondo and his associate Robinson as they traveled around Los Angeles in a Cadillac Escalade. Their journey took them to various locations, including a marijuana dispensary and a clothing store in West Hollywood. The tension was palpable as the suspects followed their targets, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. The climax of the day's events occurred at a gas station across from the Beverly Center, a bustling area in the heart of Los Angeles. Here, Asa Houston allegedly parked his car strategically behind the station, setting the stage for the ambush. As Quando Rondo and Robinson stopped at the gas station, Jones, Lindsay, and the third unidentified man reportedly exited their vehicle, armed and ready to execute their plan. The suspects opened fire, unleashing a hail of bullets in an attempt to kill Rondo. Tragically, Lil Pab, Quando's cousin, who was standing outside the Escalade, was struck and killed in the gunfire, while Rondo miraculously escaped unharmed. The scene was one of chaos and terror as bystanders scrambled for safety and the suspects fled the scene. Afterwards, the suspects regrouped at an In-N-Out hamburger stand, where they allegedly discussed payment with Keon Grant. The group then made their way back to Chicago, flying from San Diego, as authorities began piecing together the details of the brazen attack. Word on the streets is that these two murders aren't the only ones that Durk has paid for. From his brother's killer to an op who disrespected Von's mural, Durk has been moving reckless for a while. Murders Lil Durk has paid for. The earliest murder-for-hire plot that Durk has been caught up in involves the murder of his brother. The story starts with the death of Lil Durk's brother, D Thang, on June 7th, 2021. On a Sunday morning outside a strip club in South Suburban Harvey, shots were fired and D Thang was shot in the head. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Word on the street was that a dude named Stefan Mack was responsible for D Thang's death, so Lil Durk put a bounty on his head. And on January 7th, 2022, Mack was gunned down at the Youth Peace Center of Roseland, located at 420 West 111th Street in Chicago. Soon, two men, Anthony Montgomery Wilson and Preston Powell, were indicted with murder for hire. The events leading up to Mack's murder were meticulously planned. Montgomery Wilson and Powell, along with other unidentified accomplices, allegedly conspired to execute Mack in exchange for money. The plot involved the use of a cell phone and a 2014 Chrysler 300, which were deemed facilities of interstate commerce by prosecutors. As Mack exited the Youth Peace Center, gunmen emerged from a vehicle and opened fire, leaving him fatally wounded. A security guard was also injured in the attack but survived. The indictment, initially kept under seal, was made public, revealing the gravity of the accusations against the two men. Montgomery Wilson and Powell were charged with conspiracy to use an interstate facility in the commission of a murder for hire. Additionally, Montgomery Wilson faced an individual murder for hire count and a gun charge. As the legal proceedings unfolded, Montgomery Wilson found himself in custody, facing the full weight of the charges against him. During his arraignment, Montgomery Wilson pleaded not guilty, setting the stage for a potentially lengthy and contentious trial. His defense team is expected to challenge the evidence presented by the prosecution, which includes photos from the U.S. Attorney's Office allegedly showing him pursuing the victim with a firearm. Meanwhile, Preston Powell remains a fugitive, with law enforcement agencies actively seeking his arrest. The most high-profile murder that Durk is alleged to have paid for is that of FBG Duck. When Duck's killers were arrested back in 2021, word got out that Von had put a $100K bounty on his head. Turns out there was a rat in O-Block working with the feds, who revealed that the one who paid for the hit rewarded the killers with custom-made O-Block chains. A video surfaced on YouTube of King Von giving O-Block members custom-made chains. But according to sources in Chicago, it was actually Durk who put the hit on Duck and paid the killers.
I don't think Von paid them guys. I'm sorry to tell the world.
To know who actually paid the O-Block gang members to kill FBG Duck, FBG Butter revealed that you have to look at the suspect's arrest footage. It turns out Muwop and C Murder weren't arrested in O-Block.
Everybody arrest video coming out from when they got arrested for this Duck case.
Yeah.
They ain't showing Muwop shit. Or C Murder's happening. Have y'all saw Muwop and C Murder go to jail on camera yet? Because everybody else involved in that case, arrest footage is on camera.
It turns out that they were arrested at a private hangar, which is crazy because no regular O-Block gang member could afford to charter a private plane.
Them boys got snatched at the airport on a private hangar.
What's interesting is that at the time of their arrest, Von was already dead. That would leave one person with that kind of money to fly out Muwapo and see Murder on a private jet, Lil Durk.
Von is dead, right?
Okay, well,
How the is these paying for a jet?
Durk is also suspected of ordering the death of one of Duck's closest homies, FBG Cash, for disrespecting Von's mural. When King Von was killed, Cash decided to take a photo next to the mural showing his middle finger. However, instead of having kind words for the deceased rapper, he captioned the post saying, "Whole world witnessed yo main sniper get his splacked." This stunt did not go down well with Von's guys, and especially with Von's best friend, Lil Durk. Lil Durk decided to stick up for Von by warning Cash in his song Computer Murderers, where he raps sneaking pics by Von Mural like Lil Bro won't come out and spin. Seemingly enjoying the attention, Cash would use Durk's beat on Computer Murderers and continue dissing King Von singing, "Von got his ass clapped. You had us thinking he was stretched." Cash even started trolling his ops in interviews. In one interview, he was asked about his infamous stunt at King Von's mural. He responded by saying that Lil Durk had told him to do it.
Then I think at some point you take the picture in front of O-Block, in front of the King Von mural.
Mm-hmm.
So what was going on with all that?
Durk told me to do that.
Durk told you to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was only a matter of time before his ops would catch up with him, and a warning from Durk on social media gave a clue as to what would happen next. Lil Durk had taken to Instagram to warn him, "Don't diss Thang if you be lingering and chasing who's won't end well. That's March," the Instagram story read. And according to some of his friends, he was set up by a female.
And dad, like 5 o'clock that morning, you was loose as hell. You trying to ride around with in a rack. Come on, bro. Ain't no doing that, cuz. You know better. Like, these set you up.
On the 9th of June, 2022, Cash was picked up by a female friend and headed for a nightclub. After the club, the rapper took her to a friend's house to sleep with her. At around 5 in the morning, Cash drove the car home with the girl in the back seat. According to her, she was tired and wanted to sleep. A few minutes later, Cash stopped at the stop sign on the 1600 block of West 81st when a car cut them off. 3 men jumped out and opened fire. Cash exited the vehicle as he shot back. However, he was soon overpowered. Cash was later taken to Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn, where he succumbed to his injuries. According to reports, a few weeks before the tragic incident that claimed his life, FBG Cash was involved in a shooting in which even he suspected that the female he was with had set him up. Luckily, only his arm was grazed by a bullet, and he lived to tell the tale.
When I went to look, I was like, damn. Like the bullet had ripped all my jacket. Like, I'm like, I'm shot.
That morning, Cash had just left the studio and gone to the woman's house. At around 4:20 in the morning, a guy started blowing up her phone. According to Cash, it was the girl's boyfriend. The woman then told Cash that her boyfriend had the house keys, meaning he could show up at any moment. So the duo decided to leave the house. They jumped into the woman's car and drove off with Cash in the passenger seat. The rapper did one thing that saved his life that night. He reclined his seat and lay on his back while on his phone. On the way home, they stopped at a red light as a vehicle pulled behind them. According to Cash, the woman told him that it was a cop. The rapper peeped but couldn't see clearly, so he went back to his phone. Suddenly, the rear windshield was broken by a hail of bullets. Luckily, he was not in the line of fire. Immediately, the woman sped off before anyone could get shot. People around Cash warned him about being around the woman, as she was an Instagram model, and they had only gone out 3 times before the incident. According to them, she may have set up the rapper.
Be shooting at you at 3.
What if I told you?
4 o'clock in the morning.
And who would know where I was at?
Exactly.
Like, fuck, I wasn't, like,
You know her car.
you can't see in my car. And then, fuck, it's not like I was sitting straight up in her car. And then, like, if she did set me up, like, she did it with the wrong people because they didn't kill Chill.
While Durk has clearly been implicated in several murder-for-hire plots, there are multiple rappers who've been caught up in similar charges, including one of Durk's industry best friends, King Von, rappers who paid for murder. First on the list is one of Durk's best friends in the industry, Young Thug. In May 2022, Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis unveiled a shocking 56-count indictment accusing Young Thug and 27 other alleged members of YSL of running a violent Atlanta street gang. According to the prosecution, YSL was not just a record label, but a dangerous criminal enterprise known as Young Slime Life, affiliated with the National Bloods gang. The indictment detailed a decade-long reign of terror centered around the Cleveland Avenue area of Atlanta. Prosecutors alleged that YSL members were responsible for a wide range of criminal activities, including murder, assault, robbery, theft, illegal gun possession, and drug sales. At the heart of the indictment was the claim that Young Thug was the clear leader of the organization. One of the most shocking allegations in the indictment centered around the 2015 killing of Donovan Thomas Jr., commonly known as Big Nut, a rival gang member. Prosecutors claimed that Young Thug had rented the car used in the murder, while 5 other YSL members were directly charged with the killing. As the trial progresses, the rap world is eager to see whether Big Nut's murder will be pinned on Thug. But Thug isn't the only one of Durk's rapper friends to have their ops murked, because it seems like Young and Ace also did. Ace was friends with both Lil Durk and Quando Rondo before the beef started, and it turns out he may have planned and financed the murder of his fiercest rival, Fulio. According to Fulio's mom, her son's death was a paid hit.
Do you think it was a paid hit?
I do.
Ace seemed to confirm that it was a paid hit during an appearance on a YouTube show, where he was asked what he had last invested money in.
What's the last thing you invested in?
Can't say too much.
And while Lil Durk rewarded his gang members with money and lucrative music deals for carrying out hits, this next rapper was also accused of rewarding his associates with expensive dinners. This is none other than New York drill rapper Chef G's gang, which had extended its tentacles from Brooklyn to Manhattan and even across state lines to New Jersey, was accused of ordering, orchestrating, and executing acts of chaos that left the community in its wake trembling. Brooklyn's district attorney, Eric Gonzalez, revealed that the rapper had used his financial gains to help facilitate further gang activity, encouraging members to partake in violent crimes. One such act of violence, a mass shooting in Brooklyn, stood out for its sheer audacity and brutality. The suspects had reportedly pulled up in a vehicle and unleashed a hail of bullets on members of a rival gang. The chaos that ensued saw one person killed and 5 others injured as bystanders fled the scene in terror. The aftermath of the shooting saw Chef G allegedly rewarding the shooters with a lavish steak dinner at a Manhattan restaurant. The last rapper once had beef with Durk and Von and almost had one of their friends, Chief Keef, murdered. The tension between the two rappers was obvious, with both artists exchanging jabs and threats through social media and their music. As the rivalry intensified, Tekashi 6ix9ine's association with Kuda B, a fellow rapper and member of his inner circle, became increasingly significant. Kuda B, whose real name is Kentea McKenzie, was known for his loyalty to 6ix9ine and his willingness to support him in various endeavors. This relationship would soon play a crucial role in the events that unfolded. The animosity between 6ix9ine and Chief Keef reached a boiling point in the months leading up to the shooting. In a series of online exchanges, 6ix9ine taunted Chief Keef and his associates. In the midst of this escalating feud, a video surfaced in November 2018 that would later become a key piece of evidence. The video, released by TMZ, showed Tekashi 6ix9ine on FaceTime with Tato, Chief Keef's cousin. During the call, 6ix9ine inquired about Tato's whereabouts and whether he would be with Chief Keef during his visit to New York City. In a shocking revelation, 6ix9ine claimed to have a 30-pack, referring to a $30,000 bounty out on Chief Keef. The stage was set for a dramatic confrontation, and on June 2nd, 2018, the tension erupted into violence. As Chief Keef made his way back to the Times Square W Hotel in the early morning hours, shots were fired in his direction. Miraculously, Chief Keef emerged unharmed, but the incident sent shockwaves through the music industry and beyond. The investigation into the shooting quickly gained momentum, with authorities piecing together the events leading up to that fateful night. Kuda B, Tekashi 6ix9ine's associate, soon found himself at the center of the investigation. His involvement in the plot to target Chief Keef would later lead to it.
Man. I want to see why Lil Durk was going to Lil Durk buys flights to Italy. Yeah.
Thank you. Can I have a drink of your diet?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's yours, actually. All right, so let me try to get back to this. What the hell? He had like 3 different flights going to 3 different places.
Has more interesting details. Durk booked 3 international flights in an alleged attempt to flee the country after his boys were arrested earlier in the day. U.S. Customs and Border Protection alerted the FBI that Durk booked the 2 flights to Dubai and Switzerland, but Durk did not board either flight. FBI officials soon learned that he also booked a private plane to depart Miami and arrive in Italy. This man Durk had 2 decoy flights booked to Dubai and Switzerland. Who books 2 flights like that isn't guilty and trying to flee, while simultaneously having a private jet ready and then getting called an hour before the private jet takes off at the airport? Durk just got rewarded the key to the city from Broadview, Illinois Mayor Katrina Thompson, but now sadly it's being revoked. Broadview withdraws key to village from Lil Durk, ends partnership with Rappers Foundation from Village of Broadview Mayor Katrina Thompson. Here's her statement. While the American system of justice grants everyone the presumption of innocence until proven guilty in a court of law, in the Village of Broadview, the court of public opinion of residents has even higher moral and ethical standards of behavior, and our public partners must also reflect the same uncompromising standards demanded by our residents. Given news that Lil Durk has been arrested in Florida and charged with murder for hire, the Village of Broadview is withdrawing our honorary key to the village granted to Durk and is terminating our partnership agreement with his youth organization, Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. It almost sounds like the kids in this youth organization are getting punished, which I don't like, but as a mayor, protecting Broadview's interest in upholding the values of residents is job number 1. And here's a bunch of pictures of her rewarding him the key. Oh man. Literally 7 days ago on October 18th. Wow. This is just incredible timing. So here's OTF Jam, who allegedly wore wire for years. I don't think there's a lot confirmed about how long he wore this wire. People are kind of spreading around 12 years because he was in prison for 12 years, but we won't know until the trial, if this ever goes to trial, which I have to get into later on. So here's OTF Jam, who allegedly wore wire for years. I don't think there's a lot confirmed about how long he wore this wire. People are kind of spreading around 12 years because he was in prison for 12 years, but we won't know until the trial, if this ever goes to trial, which I have to get into later on. But this guy's literally in music videos and been around Durk a lot.
I heard somebody named OTF Jam, they said they've been calling him a rat. And basically he said, okay, I'm a rat. Well, watch this. Watch this. That's all this information that I know. Rat this, I'm going to tell this, I'm going to tell that. My video earlier, I told y'all, man, if somebody say Durk name, that's all it's going to take to say that man's name. And obviously, like I said earlier too, if they come, they coming. They ain't coming just because they want to. Ooh, they coming if they feel they got you. That's why I be saying, I don't care how much money you got, what's going on, man. These people will throw you under the bus. These people will do you in.
So here's an interview of OTF Jam talking about how apparently Durk helped him survive in prison, and he did him this dirty after.
Like, how did you even get linked in with just OTF period?
Man, shit. You get linked in that. We grew up together. This ain't no...
We grew up together.
People I met. Nah, I knew them. Like I'm saying, this was before jail. I know Durk was rapping. We came out that now on our lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like back then, like before y'all never even heard of that. Like this was shit in our parties, like personal shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's bro. You know what I'm saying? My whole time in jail, that stayed, bro. Like before the money, you know what I'm saying? That was bro. Like, I remember when the money wasn't there.
If this is true, and he's co-conspirator too, this is terrible. He did Durk so dirty. Snitching in an interview is another thing. Like, that's bad, obviously. In the gang world, that's like, you're a rat. But wearing a wire is another level.
I gave my lawyer money and everything when I was fighting my case. Like, my whole time in jail, I was straight.
My whole time in jail, I was straight because Durk was taking care of him, is pretty much what he's saying.
Everybody get taken care of that shit.
Gang shit, none of that shit is like some family shit.
That's cool that Durk was taking care of people. I mean, that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, we always came together and made sure the guys were straight. Like, I love both of them. Can't that shit forever.
Bro said this shit forever.
Jam get out that jam and give him 50, he ain't gotta ask again, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't gotta ask shit, bro. He said he gave you 50, bro. You know what I'm saying? Facts.
Bro said facts. I got 50K from him. I hope this isn't true, man.
Can you tell us how much he gave you, or you don't want to even?
No, I ain't gotta get into all that, but bro made sure he made a way for me to be straight, like he saying that I had some room, you know, like shit. Free a car, all of that. They let me take care of anything I had to take care of.
Say something about a car or something? So Durk gave him a car too? Did he say something about a house there?
Free a car, all of that.
A crib? This is insane. Alright, here's a video of OTF Jam when he got out of prison.
Hey, Trey. What up? I'm home, baby. Hey, come talk to me, bro. Come here. Damn, Trey, I ain't seen your ass in a minute, bro. What's up, nigga? You still be cracking cards, nigga? Oh, hell no. You still be cracking cards? Bank cards?
I was telling you about that nigga.
Y'all be safe. You know 12 out here. You know 12 out here.
Drewski really has a skit for every type of situation. So here's Durk talking about if Gunna is a snitch on Thug for taking that Alfred plea.
And the DJ is about to play Gunna. Would you let him play Gunna? They ain't got nothing to do with me. That's the DJ. That's the DJ set. Would you play Gunna in the club? Would I play Gunna in the club? Yeah. No. Why'd you unfollow him?
If this was the courtroom and you sitting up here and telling me who I'm talking about,
do you consider? I'm asking.
No, I'm actually. If this was a courtroom,
yeah, I can't tell you who you're talking about. So now,
so that's assumptions.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So let me ask you directly.
So now you putting your story together yourself. I never said nobody's name.
Do you believe that Gunna is a snitch?
Huh?
Do
Do you believe that Gunna told?
Man, I don't sit up and play games, man. That man told. You should have went in there and kept your mouth closed.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I was. I thought you were trying to reverse it. I'm like,
hell no.
I'm like,
I just said I never. No, I just said
I'm
I
like,
never.
Gunna was scared you. I'm like, yo, how did?
Huh?
I'm like, I don't even gonna like.
Hell no. I never like. I'm following. I don't know. I never like. Why I didn't? I don't know. I just don't take that shit. Instagram and all that shit type of shit serious. But if you a rat, you a rat. And if you rewind this clip a little bit, I looked into the camera and I told you, if you a rat, I fucking hate you. Cause I love Thug.
Did you ever think though?
So James, the guy right here in the red hat in this music video with Durk. Look, I'm dapping up right here and everything. This is insane. That's why people say they want loyalty over everything. The feds ain't coming after you if they don't have real evidence. More than 90% of individuals who are prosecuted in federal court are convicted. If you're facing federal charges, it is of the utmost importance that you entrust your case to a hard-hitting federal criminal defense attorney to vastly improve your chances of securing a reduction or dismissal of your charges. In the United States, almost 98% of federal convictions are the result of plea bargains. In 2022, nearly 9% of people charged with federal crimes pled guilty without going to trial. 90% don't even go to trial. Do we think Durk's going to go to trial? Do you think he's going to take, like, I don't know, what's murder for hire plea? Like that, is that even... So here's some information on the murder for hire statute. Whoever travels in or causes another travel in interstate or foreign commerce or uses or causes another to use the mail or any facility of interstate or foreign commerce with the intent that a murder be committed in violation of the laws of any state or the United States as consideration for the receipt of or as in consideration of a promise or agreement to pay any of pecuniary value or who conspires to do so. So every case is obviously different, but a LA landlord sentenced 20 years in prison for a murder for hire plot, and that's a 2024 case as well. A man named Bert Gucci Rhodes, what? Also known as Mo Sean, was sentenced to life in prison plus 7 to 8 months for murder for hire. Rhodes was convicted of conspiring to commit murder for hire, committing murder for hire, and possession with intent to distribute heroin. In California, the sentence of murder for hire depends on the degree of the murder and whether it involves special circumstances. So it all depends on what Durk's mindset is here. If he takes a plea, do you think he's willing to, take a 25-year plea or some bullshit? I don't even know if they're going to offer that. They're probably like, hey, you're going to jail for 40 years, so you want it or not? Or we're going to trial. So this is some serious shit. This is not looking good for Durk, boys. I don't know what to say. He might be cooked. He might be going to jail for life. So I wonder what plea they offer him or if he'll even take a plea. Hey, subscribe, join channel membership. Love you guys. Peace out.
All right.
You shot's great, but you shot.
I initially ran the wire, then I found out, he was OTF Booney co-defendant on that case, and he felt like Durk was playing favoritism, when he came home. And then while he was locked up, his baby mama got killed, and ain't nobody do shit. So he already had hidden agendas already of what he was gonna do. It was already something. Then they say he just got caught with a gun. So instead of him going back on that gun case, he just told on the whole infrastructure.
Yeah, because you just came home not too long ago, like when you come home.
So I've been a little bit over a year.
Yeah, okay.
A little bit over a year.
Yeah.
12 years flat.
12 years?
Like 12 years. Did my time. Ain't told him nobody.
Right.
Ain't no fool shit on my name. Now I'm back. I'm living the life I know that I live.
Listen.
Close that back door. Can you shake that back home?
Here's the big thing you got to understand about the Lil Durk situation. The indictment that's been released is not a gang RICO charge. In a gang charge, if they prove you're in the gang, you're responsible for the acts of the other gang members. However, this is murder for hire. Doesn't matter if he's in a gang or what or this or that. What's going to matter here is, did he hire someone for the murder? Okay, so unless they link Durk to the money, it's not murder for hire. RICO gang would be totally different. Then you start talking about, oh, did this guy ever wear the words OTF on his shirt? Did he ever do that? This is not that case. It's murder for hire. They're going to try to connect him to the money that was paid to the shooter. That's the only way they get him on murder for hire, which you face life for if the murder for hire involved a death. Here, they didn't kill who he was hired to, so maybe you better hope you don't.
I can't send no money in my name cause Lil Bro Killer, he killed his gump ass. I don't even know if the feds trying to set me up cause you woofing with your little gump ass. Ain't no killer said that it's...
There's a guy named OTF Jam.
That was wired.
Very ironic name. Champ
now
got
he
him
put
in
everyone in
the
the
jam.
jam.
Did 12 years.
12
got
years.
out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him 50,000.
Right.
This. Made mention that ain't no smut on his name. He ain't never been a rat. Caught a gun case, but eventually he flipped.
Yep.
He got put in the jam, and now he's
right. OTF Jam did 12 years for attempted murder back, I guess around 2010. He got out in 2022, right around the same time of the Quando situation. And he allegedly had been wearing a wire for the last 2 years.
From 22 to 24.
Yeah.
So he immediately got caught up.
Yes.
He felt like Durk was playing favoritism, when he came home. And then while he was locked up, his baby mama got killed, and ain't nobody do shit. So he already had hidden agendas already of what he was going to do. It was already something.
An investigation is underway in the southwest suburbs after a woman was gunned down inside a parked car. It happened at a gated community complex in Orland Park. There are still many questions about what led to the shooting.
CBS 2's Andrew Ramos live for us in Orland Park with new details on this investigation. Andrew?
Joe and Erica, that victim has been identified as 28-year-old Michelle Williams. Legal help firm we're learning from that she was a mother of 3. Now, it remains unclear if she was a resident here at the Orland Ridge apartment complex or was just visiting when she was shot.
Multiple calls in regards to the shots fired in Redwood Lane. Everybody's had about 20 shots, and then somebody got out of the car and started running.
The call came in just after midnight, where Orland Park police responded to reports of shots fired in the 170th block of Redbud Lane, which lies within the Orland Ridge Towns and Villas apartment complex. When officers arrived, they found a victim sitting inside a black vehicle with multiple gunshot wounds. The victim later identified as 28-year-old Michelle Williams.
Police are on the scene. They are doing CPR.
Despite life-saving attempts, the victim died at the scene.
It's actually disturbing. I mean, anyone, but just someone so young with children, it's very sad.
What remains unclear, was she targeted or was it a random shooting? The motive still unknown. Officers at the scene offering a possible clue that may lead to a suspect.
Some ring footage shows a white pickup truck flee the area right before we arrived.
Now, for several hours following the shooting, investigators remained here at the scene, pouring through surveillance footage, really trying to piece together what happened. As of right now, no arrests have been made.
This morning I heard a series of maybe 5 to 10 gunshots. Gunshots were extremely loud. And I ran to the window. I saw a young man running across our little wooded area, and a car speeding down what is Pond Willow Drive. I saw her probably get up off her gas, and the car rolled a little bit, then stopped. If you have a son, a nephew, or someone who you knew were out here and they were not supposed to, please tell somebody.
This is not something that's just gonna go away or not be solved. Like somebody did something to my niece. Precious worked for the post office. She not a street person, so this needs to get solved. I mean,
When was the last time that y'all heard from her?
My family talked to her. She talked to somebody in the family every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know who she was with. That's what we're trying to find out. Orland Park need to find out.
Mm-hmm.
This is not something that's just finna get brushed under the rug and not be solved.
Orland Park police tell us the killer fled the area following the shooting. Police found the vehicle with the headlights still on. On the driver and passenger doors open. Williams' body lying on the ground. Family members tell Fox 32 the young mother was a passenger inside the car, along with some friends, including another female postal worker and 2 men.
A woman was found shot to death inside her car right outside this housing complex, but the circumstances are still unclear.
It's really terrifying, honestly, because this community is really quiet.
This was the scene overnight. Orland Park police blocked off the area as detectives collected evidence. near 170th and Rosebud Lane.
It's really heartbreaking for this family. In fact, the family telling me tonight they have more questions than answers, and they say they are more than 100% sure that their loved one was not the intended target. We've learned that she lives and works in Chicago, and according, again, to relatives, they say she knows nothing about this area here in the south suburbs where she was found killed.
Text somebody yesterday and I told him that's my baby, that's my sweetheart. That's how we all gonna remember her.
Michelle A. Williams, a postal worker and mother of 3 young sons, dead at 28 years old. Her aunt, who practically raised her, is heartbroken.
Michelet's loved ones also say she put family first and was loving, kind, and supportive. They say the mom poured her heart into her 10-year-old, 6-year-old, and 10-month-old boys and still made room to care for other children in her family. On Tuesday night around 11:30, family members say Michelet left her Southside home but never returned. Loved ones say they don't know why Michelet was in Orland Park, and they're hoping someone comes forward with answers.
Detectives spent much of the morning canvassing the area and looking for evidence that may lead them to the woman's killers. It's still unclear if the shooting was targeted or if it was a random act of violence. In the meantime, area residents remain concerned about their safety and that of the neighborhood.
The only thing we received was a notification from the management team that as soon as they find out more, they would share more.
Well, the investigation into that ongoing incidents of violence continues. This as the family, friends, and co-workers of Michelet Williams continue to mourn her loss.
The family of Michelet Williams is dealing with the pain of finding out the mother of 3 was killed. Now, police, they're still searching for that suspect. We did speak to the family of Michelet Williams last night. They said that she is someone that loved to be around her family, even being known as the babysitter for her family. But right now, they're trying to figure out and understand why someone wanted to take her life. She was found here in Orland Park Wednesday morning in a vehicle that didn't even belong to her.
And tonight we do know that that killer remains at large. Police have not said if the victim was in fact the intended target. Also, we've not been told whether someone else in the vehicle was injured or not. We do know that the South Suburban Major Crimes Task Force, along with Orland Park Police, are investigating.
Michelet Williams' family, friends, and colleagues released green, white, and silver balloons in her memory outside of her home on Chicago's far south side tonight.
For them to take my sister away from us, that hurt so bad.
Hundreds of balloons flew up into the sky tonight in memory of Michelet Williams, affectionately called Precious.
Precious was nice and she was very sweet.
Family members described the 28-year-old mom with 3 boys as family-oriented, fun, loving, and supportive.
The one thing she will always let me know is that she got me, she got her sibling, she got us, because that's all we had.
Michelet worked as a mail carrier out of the post office on Dearborn Street in downtown Chicago. Orland Park Police haven't shared many details about what happened, but say they believe the person who committed the crime left the area.
If anybody know anything, just let us know. Please, can y'all let us know? Because she did not deserve this.
Again, Michelet is the mom of 3 boys, and her family members have set up a GoFundMe page to help support her children, as well as to help pay for her funeral expenses.
OTF fans were scrambling and scraping when the news broke, trying to figure out if this was true. If OTF Jam, affiliate of Lil Durk, right, who did 12 years flat, he even stated that he never told on no one, right? Never did no fool shit, right? And he's back on the streets to claim his throne, right, his title. But now it seems like everything is turned against OTF Jam, and for some reason he's taking the OTF off his name. As many people are pointing out, right? What's really going on, you guys? Now, the truth of the matter is, this whole thing is a big mix-up from what I can see and what evidence that I have. When Say Cheese posted that blog about OTF Jam being the snitch, the OTF snitch is what, the wording said in that post by Say Cheese on Instagram, right? He had OTF Jam's picture right there, saying that he was the OTF snitch. And once this started getting traction and started going viral, right, all the blog sites picked up on it. Everybody started making the same posts, right? Some people even copied and pasted and put their own page logos on it, right? their blog site logos. So everybody had the same information that was put out there initially by Say Cheese on Instagram, but was later retracted. If you go on Instagram now, you cannot find that post, but it's, you know, still on the Twitter, the X account of Say Cheese TV. That same post, right? So they did take it down from Instagram, but it's still up on Twitter, better yet known as X. After Say Cheese's blog, the post on Instagram started going viral. People started sharing it more and more. The word was out now, the false information, the misinformation, alleging that OTF Jam was the one who wore the wire, right? Was all over the place, right? It had spread, you know, too far by now to retract that statement, even though Say Cheese, you know, took the post down off Instagram, right? But now the damage is done. OTF Jam is, you know, fresh out the jammer, right? Did 12 flat, and now they're calling him a rat, or maybe even call him Chatty Ratty. Wow, it's crazy work, you guys. And when it does come out that OTF Jam is not indeed a rat, you know, what will people say? Well, at this point, it's too late. You know, the word has been put out there. You got some people who can't be convinced otherwise once they hear something. Their mind is tainted, right? And many are asking, how did a wire even get brought up in the first place? Because if you read the indictment or heard, you know, the indictment being read by a lot of the people who are going over the Durk complaint, the indictment and whatnot, right? The details do not list anybody wearing a wire in that indictment at all. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, why would Say Cheese, you know, put that narrative out there and put that little piece of document on that post that they made about OTF Jam being an informant and wearing a wire on Lil Durk and getting him caught up in the murder for hire plot against Quando Rondo, when the feds indeed were already doing investigations. You know, they probably already had all the information they need. Why would they need OTF Jam to wear a wire? Right. And then this guy, OTF Jam, said he got out in 2022, right? So 2 years, close to 2 years he's been out. And he also went to jail on a gun charge after doing a year, you know, out on the streets almost. You know what I'm saying? So after a year, he gets jammed up again, you know, and then, you know, he has a fresh case, and they're saying he's still locked up at this moment. That's what I hear, right? Because the Instagram account, somebody's making posts on his behalf saying that they're his manager. So where's OTF Jam at? Maybe, you know, he is doing a little time behind bars right now for that gun charge that he caught, right? So, you know, at this very moment, what we do know is it was a mix-up of information. When OTF Twin put out Marlon Kirsch was a rat with the big rat emoji by Marlon Kirsch's name, right? Saying that he wore a wire on Big Smooth, and Big Smooth is OTF. And many are saying maybe the mix-up came from them looking kinda, sorta alike, but OTF Jam and Marlon Kirsch, the guy who OTF Twin posted that actually wore the wire on Big Smooth, right? He looks nothing like OTF Jam to me, in my opinion. But, you know, how did Say Cheese, you know, get the wrong person? Who knows? Maybe it was a mix-up of, you know, identities, right? And, well, this Marlon Kirsch character, he's the one that initially wore the wire on OTF, Big Smooth. And I'm pretty sure Big Smooth just got out not too long ago also, as reports that I read, you know, said that he, you know, hadn't been out this long, and now you got somebody wearing a wire on Big Smooth, this Marlon Kirsch character. And OTF Twin also posted another name, right? Sharon Hollins, and he said, we got another one with the rat emoji, Sharon Hollins over east, right? So I guess he's from the east side, right? And he's also a rat according to OTF Twin, right? So now you have Say Cheese, you know, they also put this post out as well, and they had this information on who OTF Twin was initially talking about, you know, this Marlon Kirsch, a character being a rat and wearing a wire on OTF Big Smooth, and he even added Smooth. But some type of way, the information got, you know, mixed up, you guys. Jam got replaced with Marlon Kirsch as wearing a wire. Big Smooth of OTF got replaced with Durk. I guess all this is the timing of all this. Somebody tried to make it make sense. Evidence was right there. OTF Twin told us that the one who wore the wire was, Marlon Kirsch, not OTF Jam, which happens to be Casey J. Hester, right? That's OTF Jam's name. This manager is saying, if y'all seen the indictment, y'all don't see Casey J. Hester in that paperwork, and you don't. So Jam is not a part of that whole situation with the murder for hire as far as the paperwork is stated so far. His name's not in it. Casey J. Hester is not in that paperwork, right? So nobody wearing a wire is named, or a wire isn't even mentioned in this paperwork. So this is where all the mix-up comes from. Now you have everybody running with the narrative, but I ain't gonna give you no narrative. I'm gonna give you the rundown. Now, OTF Jam recently spoke out on his IG, or better yet, a person from the management is what it's looking like made this statement. It says, my artist strongly denies the allegation that's been going around falsely accusing him and labeling him a rat when no paperwork shows his name. At this point in the moment, we can't speak, and we have asked him not to comment further while this matter works its way through the courts, but are comfortable he will ultimately be vindicated. That means that all this right here would be proven to be false, okay? And we will be ready to defend this case in court at the appropriate time, but don't intend to conduct our defense in the media. Wow, okay, that's a pretty slick statement there. We would ask that people be patient while the legal process runs its course. In the meantime, Jam is going to focus his energy and concentration on music and family. We all ask the fake pages and clout chasers to be respectful. You accusing someone that hasn't been convicted. Wow. Yeah. So this is what OTF Jam's management had to say about the whole ordeal with him being called an informant, a rat, a snitch, or maybe even call him Chatty Ratty. Wow. Yeah. Right? The one who wore the wire, but like I just went over with you about, OTF Twin, right? He hasn't made another comment about this neither, right? Even though he's the one that first put out the statement about a wire in the first place. But he was talking about Marlon Kirsch, the one who wore the wire on Big Smooth from OTF. So how did this all get mixed up, you guys? Who knows?
I'm on live on 2 phones. I got 2 phones. One for live and one for Steve Live. Look, your phone just said Marlon Kirsch is live now.
Right after the confusion, the post that Say Cheese made about OTF Jam being the one that wore the wire, here comes Poetic Flacco with a post that he made on his Instagram, right? His Twitter, X account, or whatever. He said, the feds believe Lil Durk paid to get these 2 people killed. Stephon Mack, who killed Lil Durk's brother D-Thing. OTF Jam baby mom was killed because Lil Durk found out he was wearing a wire around him. Feds think OTF Jam is the key to putting Lil Durk in jail for all 3 bodies. Now, he shows a picture of this lady, a postal worker, who's supposed to be the baby mom of OTF Jam, right? But the only problem with this, you guys, is upon my further research, this is not the lady that's pictured in the Poetic Flacco post, right? Of the actual baby mom of OTF Jam, right? OTF Jam baby mother is also a postal worker, but it's a different lady. And also he stated that, feds are saying that Lil Durk also paid to, unalive this woman as well. Not this exact woman on Poetic Flacco's post, but the actual baby mother, of OTF Jam, all because he was, outed. He was exposed for wearing a wire. And Flacco is telling us that Stephon Mack, who also killed Lil Durk's brother, was also a murder for hire hit as well, paid for by Durk. Now, this is what, Poetic Flacco's post is alleging, because it starts off saying the feds believe Lil Durk paid to get these two people killed. So, I haven't seen this article on the internet anywhere. I haven't seen any information, other than this, that's stating this, that the feds, believe that Lil Durk had two more bodies, murder for hires, out there, along with the one with Lil Paul, the one that he's actually locked up for. So, I can't, vet this information, validate it or none of that, because, this is the wrong baby mother that Poetic Flacco has in his post. So, I would have to definitely say that this is probably something that, opinion of Poetic Flacco's, right? Because, I would see that, if it was true, he probably would have posted the actual news article, the report, the document stating this. Now, according to court documents, in the indictment, it says that co-conspirator 1, right? This is Lil Durk, right? Conspirator 1, right after the killing of King Von in November of 2020. Now, he tells the members of OTF, right? Including Wilson, who was Diddy, OTF Diddy, Conspirator 2, 4, and 5, and others, that Conspirator 1, which is Durk, will pay a monetary bounty, a reward, in taking part in the killing of Quando Rondo. So if he said this in 2020, right after King Von was killed, right? How can co-conspirator or conspirator 2 be OTF Jam? OTF Jam was locked up at that time, right? He didn't get out to 2022, 2 years later, when they finally caught up with Rondo. OTF Jam was out at that time. That's right. Now, Poetic Flacco.
So the timeline don't match up at all. It's crazy how the internet could think they got it all right, and then OTF Jam was in jail and got out in 22. How could he have worn a wire? In 22, they already got Lil Pop. Come on, do the math. You got to do the math.
Flacco, the blog site he has there on Twitter, better yet known as X, is where I first seen, somebody saying that OTF Jam's baby mom was a target, a murder for hire hit put out by Lil Durk, because Durk found out that OTF Jam was wearing a wire around him. This is the first place I seen, this information that is Poetic Flacco saying this. I don't see any other, paperwork stating that, right? That the feds actually, have tangible evidence, right? A physical evidence, or, any type of video footage, saying that, Lil Durk is definitely the orchestrator, right?
Man.
And operated, and this criminal enterprise where he was putting hits on people to this extent. Right now, they have said that he definitely put the hit out on Quando Rondo that led up to the death of Rondo's cousin Lil Paul. But these other two alleged murder for hires, right? I just don't know about these two yet, because I haven't seen any actual articles, no news articles, or anybody else reporting this, but this blog site by Poetic Flacco. And what we do know is, the narrative that the baby mother of OTF Jam being killed came from King Yella, the rapper from Chicago. That's where I heard that information from. And King Yella said, indeed, in fact, one of OTF Jam's baby mothers was gunned down, and she was out of town, according to reports, when this whole ordeal happened. Upon meticulous research, I definitely know that this young lady is the baby mother of OTF Jam, because by certain Facebook posts that she made. Now, in initial reports, people were putting out the wrong baby mother of OTF Jam, who initially lost her life due to gunfire, right? They say that Octavia Redmond was the 48-year-old baby mother of OTF Jam, which, I came to find out through my own research that's false. Okay, this 48-year-old married woman, Octavia Redmond, this postal worker who was killed by the teen, she's not the baby mother of OTF Jam. Another young lady who died at 28, right? She was a postal worker also, and she was in a vehicle, right, with some more individuals. Another lady who was a postal worker as well, and two more men. And these were the individuals that jumped out of the vehicle and left Michelle Williams to die and perish in that vehicle all alone. Now, some reports said that, she was on the ground, deceased when the officers arrived on the scene. But, other reports said she was found in the car, right, deceased from the gunfire. So it's unclear how that happened with, her body being, said to be on the ground and her body said to be in the car. Right, so that was kind of confusing, but nevertheless, she was the only one killed in that shooting, right? 28-year-old female who worked for the post office. Now, Michelle Williams, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but I would definitely believe it would be Michelle, okay? So with her losing her life and these friends jumping out the car, according to reports, right? It makes me wonder, how did, them friends of hers that jumped out of the vehicle and left her there to die, how did they not get wounded? Because, the news broadcast, didn't say that others were wounded in this shooting. Only Michelle, okay? So I find that very odd and strange. And she was also riding with these people, right? And she was out of town. She wasn't in Chicago at the time that this murder happened. Okay, so it's very strange, that, this is actually the baby mother of OTF Jam, who had her life taken away from her right after she had a child for OTF Jam, right? And he had ended up going to jail behind that gun charge that he caught, no more than a year of him being out after doing 12 years, you guys, right? He was arrested there in May of 2023, right? He got out of prison around, I think it was February of 2022, according to the reports that I have. So, yeah, he wasn't out that long at all, and he ended up catching that gun charge, and I'm guessing right when he got out is when he got Michelle pregnant with their child, their son. And, yeah, man, I'm guessing, OTF Jam is still jammed up at the moment because management made that post on his Instagram story about all these allegations being false. And I cleared that up earlier in my video by telling you that actually OTF Twin, was saying that a guy named Marlon Kirsch, who looks nothing like OTF Jam, but obviously somebody thought he did and picked OTF Jam to replace the picture of Marlon Kirsch with, saying that he was the one that wore the wire. But yeah, we have to get the information correct if we're going to put it out there, because the information has been there with OTF Twin saying that this guy named Marlon Kirsch is indeed the one who wore the wire. OTF Big Smooth. Now I know, some still might doubt that this is the actual baby mother of OTF Jam, right? But with research that I do, I found posts on her Facebook page, referencing Jam. And in one post she said, Krishan ain't never leaving Blueface, Rashida ain't never leaving Kirk, and she's never leaving Jam. There you have it. And she also responded to somebody saying that they called her, but she didn't answer. But she said in a reply that she was on the phone with Jam. Also, in another post that Michelle Williams, the baby mother of OTF Jam, made on her Facebook page, she was telling people to get over to the page OTFT, where they, put different information online about, certain things that's going on. in the circle, the organization of OTF. And for some reason, you know, she had something going on at that time when she made that post. And obviously she wanted people to hear what she had to say, because she even was asked what's wrong, what's going on. And she told them, come on over to that page, that OTFT page on Instagram, to see what was going on with her situation, because she made a comment and said that, you know, they got her effed up and they don't want her to tell her story or whatever, to that, you know, degree that would mean, you know. But, you know, it sounded like she was addressing O Block, you know, OTF, right, in some sort of fashion. And that's crazy that, you know, she was affiliated with, you know, this OTF family through her baby father, which is OTF Jam. Okay, and in another post she made, she said she don't care how old she gets, she's always going to be GDK. So, you know, that right there could be looked at in a negative light, right?
Man.
That would probably cause some problems for you. So who knows the type of lifestyle that Michelle Williams, the baby mother of OTF Jam, was into. Because was she targeted in that shooting? Was she the actual target, or was it somebody else that she happened to be in the car with and they escaped? You know, but she didn't. It's crazy. So we have to ask ourselves here, was OTF Jam's baby mother the intended target? Right? Is that who they intended on killing that day? Right? Because with the other two men and the other female that worked at the postal office too, they escaped woundless, according to reports. They didn't say nobody else was hurt from gunfire. Only Michelle, right? Then they said her body was found outside the car on the ground. Then they said it was inside the car. So, you know, there's some discrepancies with the reporting on the news behalf. But nevertheless, after that case went unsolved, you know, for a couple of days, right? I'm pretty sure they started to get the tips, because now, you know, we have suspects that have been arrested for the murder of OTF Jam's baby mother, Michelle Williams, right?
New at 10, 3 people have been arrested in connection to the deadly shooting of an Orland Park mother who was working as a Chicago mail carrier. Back on March 20th, Michelle Williams was found shot and killed inside a car on Pond Willow Drive. After months of investigation by the South Suburban Major Crimes Task Force, 2 men and 1 woman were taken into custody. One of the men was tracked down in Las Vegas and arrested by the FBI.
They said that she wasn't driving her car. So obviously they got the name of the person who the car belongs to. And if they were one of the people in the car at the time, pretty sure that they're one of the witnesses as well. The 3 suspects that were involved in the shooting, the murder of Michelle Williams, as she sat in that vehicle, right? Her and her friends. These people have been apprehended. They have been arrested and charged with her murder. That's right. And from what I can see, you know, it doesn't look like, you know, these are no people that's affiliated with Lil Durk, right? But who knows? I mean, when you do a hit, I would suppose you don't want nobody being affiliated with nobody that you know anyway, right? You want to get somebody that's, you know, possibly non-English speaking, if you know what I mean. So what this tells me is, with these suspects being arrested, right, for the murder of Michelle Williams, who sent these people to murder her, right? They did it out of town. So could they have been following her? Or like I said, is this a case of, you know, she was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and actually another, you know, party in that car was the intended target and not Michelle? Who knows, you guys? But this is dirty work right? To do this woman like this. Who would want her gone? Who would want her extinct, exterminated, terminated, right? Why? What's really going on, you guys? Many people are reporting and feel like OTF Jam is behind his baby mother's killing. But who knows? Many reports are out, and people are still reporting that OTF Jam had something to do with his baby mother getting taken out because he allegedly wore a wire that Lil Durk found out about and had her taken out. Not him, but had her taken out. Now, I just don't know about that one, you guys. Now, this is the conclusion that I came to. You know, do I believe that Lil Durk actually put a hit out on OTF Jam's baby mother? All because Durk found out that Jam was allegedly wearing a wire around him. Well, no, I don't believe that at all. Because, like I explained, OTF Twin said the one who wore the wire. Okay? This is where it all comes from. Marlon Kirsch wore the wire against Big Smooth. OTF Big Smooth. So, this is the real rundown on how it all went down and how all this came about and occurred. And all this led up to a guy who did 12 flat. Said he never told on nobody. Said he never did nothing fool. Why would he say that if he did? Right? And now his name has been tainted with the word rat, snitch, or maybe even call him Chatty Ratty. Wow. Yeah. Can OTF Jam recover from this? Because he changed his name to EBK Jam as well. So, you know, who knows why he took off the OTF. But anyway, y'all get in the comment section and let me know what y'all think about this entire ordeal. And until the next time, this is OG Jacario TV with the latest of hip-hop, rap, celebrity, and urban news. You're watching the Rundown Podcast. I appreciate everybody for spinning with me. I appreciate all my subscribers for sliding with your boy every time. Say, man.
Man, so what y'all think? Lil Durk arrested after his... Alright. Let's go right here. I want to know why he got them flights to Italy. I mean, he got the flights for all different places, too. So that just doesn't make sense.
California wildfires are different today, so California's approach needs to be different. Proposition 4 helps us stop these devastating fires. Early detection, prevention, critical equipment. Yes on 4 to prevent wildfires and protect our drinking water.
That the Diddy stuff, and a lot of people said, man, look how they doing Diddy. Diddy should have fled. They got it right here. They said he booked 3 flights. One was to Switzerland, Dubai, and then the last one was to Italy. He didn't board the first 2 because the cops was there waiting. He didn't board the first 2.
So YouTube family, Durkio, the one they call Lil Durk, is in a world of problems right now. Now, we talked about it earlier on our live streams, but after a matter of fact, people are now confirming that Durkio allegedly tried to run away from his situation and fled the country. One path to Italy, one path to Switzerland, one path to Dubai, after each one got blocked off. But what was perceived to be alleged is now being confirmed by DJ Academics and TMZ as a variable source of confirmation. I don't know from my side if it's confirmed. I can make a few phone calls, but we're going to talk about this. I need you guys to hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and thank you for rocking out with the I Smoke Hip Hop Live movement. I'm your guy, DJ Bless One, the best one. Let go. So you can literally look at Durkio in his situation. They calling it demise right now. I'm not gonna call it a demise. Durk clearly has been in a lot of situations that warrant people to be afraid like it's over. I mean, this is the feds for all we're talking about here. We know what transpires with the feds, what goes on, and right now Durk is in a bad position. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's not looking good when they have alleged members, guys who are part of your team, establishment. And when they got OTF jammed, claiming that he had a wire this whole time, it makes you think how many things actually got recorded during the whole total scale of things. But what they're saying is Durk tried to flee on a private jet, ladies and gentlemen. A private jet to Italy. And after that, he was supposed to go to Dubai and swing out all the way to, I think it was Switzerland, if everything didn't go right. Now, what's going on with this is the fact that when I heard him being in Broward County, Florida, I know he got ties down there. I didn't think it was nothing serious like that. This was in reminiscence to a P. Diddy situation when he was also caught up in Florida and people thought he was running away too. And we don't know if it's true or not either, but it seems to be a pattern as far as private jets, airport areas that are designated for private jets, that is. And I think that place is a known place through celebrities. Wack 100 was saying the same thing. Let's play a snippet of that to go on with it.
The whole Durk thing, I think he looked at the Diddy stuff, and a lot of people said, man, look how they doing Diddy. Diddy should have fled. They got it right here. They said he booked 3 flights. One was to Switzerland, Dubai, and then the last one was to Italy. He didn't board the first 2 because the cops was there waiting. He didn't board the first 2, and then before you could get to board the last one, they found out where it was and just went and snatched him. So, you know what I mean? That's a red flag already. If you book in 3 flights to different countries.
Yeah,
that's
told on yourself.
Man, you know what, man? I really forgot about that case, right? When it happened.
The whole Durk thing, I think.
Now, that is really red flags. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a lot of damning situations, even when academics also have brought it out as far as who's conspirator number 2, which was OTF Jam.
Well, so this is what we got, and you tell me if we're hot or cold. We believe, and I'm hoping this isn't true. This is one of the times I want to be wrong, because this is my man, okay? We believe that co-conspirator 1 seems to be aiming at somebody who's a boss within the OTF organization that could call shots, that could put money up, and also promise music opportunities. It appears that it's aiming at someone who would be Durk, or it could be Durk's brother who passed. But the only person living would be Durk. It could be Durk. It's looking like it could be Durk. When I read it at first,
in the kitchen.
I'm in the kitchen.
And we know, looking at these paperworks as well, when you're reading into details, full details that is, as far as what happened with this case, the more you know, a lot was said than what was told to the public. Now, I'm going to zoom in on this. You can see where it says co-conspirator number 1 would place bounties on individuals that co-conspirator number 1 and other OTF members wanted to kill, including TB. As part of the bounty, co-conspirators known and unknown, including defendant Wilson, would pay anyone who took part in the killing of TB or reward. And TB is Quando Rondo, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. They're doing the initials of his government name, that is. Now, they said they would get paid a reward with lucrative music opportunities with OTF. Now, I heard King Yella say on the DJ Academics platform, it's wild that people are getting paid with music contracts, which is wild. People are throwing their life away for that. Now, co-conspirators known as unknown, including defendant Wilson, would recruit others, including defendants Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirator number 2 to find, track, and kill TB. Now, if you want to know about the rewards and what people were referring to, there was a video floating around there of the conversation that alleged members got paid, but this is what they're pretty much talking about, the slide situation. Hang on. So these pictures, people was trying to confirm that's what Lil Durk paid them for. Although this was a month ahead of the situation with Quando Rondo. This was during the time of Cash people were alluding to, but there's an actual video of this which I'll play, and that's what people are saying that Durk did as far as paying his shooters. This is alleged now.
Nah, you know one thing I hate when a motherfucker be like, look, man, today only. We ain't gonna give him that. We ain't gonna give him that. Don't
We
waste
not even
time.
running our mouth. We just
Today almost
facts.
over, man. $350 for the
That's
verse.
all.
Just
Just facts.
$350.
We running our mouth, man. We don't do that. We in the streets too much.
Yeah, about out that demon door. Damn, I ain't gonna lie, you gotta feed them that much. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, that shit gonna shake the streets. I'm talking about blood, like that shit gonna shake. Real family though.
You gotta let
real members only. That shit gonna shake.
that shit gonna shake for real.
Wait.
That's a couple. That's all I want you to get them, man. You be playing. I'm gonna stop. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna make them drop that shit for y'all. For real, for real. Decided to get that shit up.
And he got the music in his phone. I'll play the shit you got.
Okay, come on now.
So folks was using that as a reason to say he paid them for the lucrative situation due to the fact that they were paid hitters. But my eyes, I could literally see a lawyer using that to say, no, they just paid for music business situations, advantageous situations that are. But we can digress from there and continue with some of this and understand it's a bad look for Durk to go through this. They're also bringing up information about the FBG Duck trial. We do know Durk is going through litigation and lawsuit situations with FBG Duck's mom, Mrs. Sheena Weekly. And man, it's a tough time, man. You know what I mean? You can literally look at it and say it's easier to go do about, but it's not. It's really a damning situation.
Broward County Jail after being arrested. Rapper Lil Durk, well, he's been arrested, and he's now waking up inside the Broward County Jail after being arrested on a murder for hire.
Hire scheme. Hey Val, good morning. Lil Durk is charged in a murder for hire scheme. We're working right now to get more details on this investigation, but we know the 32-year-old was arrested Thursday by U.S. Marshals in Florida and is being held in custody. Earlier this month, Banks was sued for his alleged involvement in the deadly shooting of another rapper in Chicago, FBG Duck, that happened 4 years ago. Weekly's family says Banks had a hand in that gang-related shooting in 2020 in the city's Gold Coast neighborhood. Lil Durk and his team didn't comment on that lawsuit, but of course we'll be sure to provide you with an update when we learn more about the charges Banks is now facing.
The reason why he said that, it seems to be is going to be certain charges and superseded charges as well. And we know minimum life sentence or maximum death penalty for these type of charges because it's murder for hire, which is worse than premeditated murder and worse than murder itself. I know you're thinking it's the same thing, but the letter of the law has higher degrees of these things. And it's just, man, it's an unfortunate situation for everybody. From Duck's side to Lil Durk's side, I feel like this right here proves that everybody loses. Look, man, I'm your guy, DJ Bless One, the best one. Thank you for watching another episode of I Smoke Hip Hop Live. Love your family, love your kids, and definitely indeed stay blessed. Deuces.